Okay. So in yesterday's session, we started with subtask. What exactly this subtask is about? Why we go for subtasks? What really? What are the advantage? What are the advantages of using these subtasks? Okay. So yesterday we are talking about the subtasks. So we discussed what exactly the subtask is. When you are calling anything in the task, when you are if you are calling one task in another task, then it is called a subtask, right? Okay. If you are calling one task in another task, then it is called a subtask. Okay. Uh, let me open this. So here NASDAQ application is a task. NASDAQ application is a task. In that we are calling one more task, that is object cloning. Okay. Now here in this case the object cloning would be the subtask. Okay. The object cloning would be the subtask. So how we are calling? By passing few parameters. Okay. By passing few parameters, that is a ticker name. Ticker name is input to this task and it is giving the output as company code and company name and stack price. Okay. So why really necessary to go for subtask, right? So we know what is the subtask is about. Now why we go for subtask? If there is any repeated code, okay, in your coding, if there is any repeated code, that code we'll need to take into other task. We write in a other task. Repeated code in sense the same block of code you using multiple times. Okay, the same block of code. Say suppose a 10 block of code is there. Okay, 10 lines of code is there. 10 line of code you are using multiple times. Multiple times is maybe in the entire this NASDAQ application or entire coding, you may using those 10 lines of code repeatedly. Okay, you may using those same 10 lines code repeatedly. So in that case what we do is we take the 10 line code in separate task and we call the task wherever it is necessary. Okay, we call the task wherever it is necessary. So what is the advantage of doing that? Okay, what is the advantage of doing that? Okay, say suppose let me open the other task, object cloning. Not task. Okay, so the best example is this email. Okay, the best example is the email. In a process of doing one process in a process of doing one task, what you will do, you will need to log into some application. Okay, say suppose you need to log into one application. So in that case, if there is any issues with the application or any issues with the credentials, so what you do, you drop a mail. Okay, you drop a mail. So in this scenario, from end to end, from point 1 to point n, there may be multiple scenarios where you need to drop a mail. Okay, so email you are using multiple times. Okay, email is a thing which you are using multiple times. Okay, say suppose you didn't create an email task. Okay, you didn't create an email task. You didn't create an email task of subtask. Okay, so that contains maybe 10 lines. Okay, now your application try to log into your robot trying to log into some application. Okay, error occurred, it's not able to log in. So what you'll do, you'll drop a mail. So for that you write a code. Okay, If you are not able to log in, to write a code of 20 lines, done. That will send a mail. Fine, one case is done. Suppose you are able to log into application, very fine. After logging to application, you are trying for some file which you want to work on, some Excel file you want to work on, right? Which you are trying to work on for some Excel file. In that case, again, there is no file present for you. So what you will do? You drop a mail. Was file does not exist for on this location locate, right? You will drop a mail again. So again, you write it 10 lines of code of email, same line. In the same this code, in the same code, you are again writing the 10 line of code email, right? Or done. Then again something after doing everything went good. You got a file, you are able to log in, you got a file, you process the thing. Finally, you send a status mail. Okay, these are the things we done, right? Again, you write it in 10 lines of code. So, in the three scenarios, in the three scenarios, you are repeating the same 10 line of code. Okay, you are repeating the same 10 line of code. So in that case, if you create a subtask, naming it as email, okay, you create a subtask naming it as email. Now this email contains 10 line of code. Assume that this email contains 10 line of code. Okay, this is the 10 line of code, we send a mail. Okay, this is the 10 line of code, we send a mail. Fine. You took it in a separate task. Okay, you took these 10 lines of code in a separate task. Now you are trying to launch to some, you are trying to access some, this is Excel sheet. Somehow you don't find the Excel sheet in that particular path. Now you drop a mail. So what you'll do? You call this email task. Just you call this email task over here. So this will drop a mail. Fine. So you reduce to one single line. Okay. Then you done everything is fine. Now you want to send a status mail at the end of the day. Here at this line everything is processed perfectly. At this line again you need to send a status mail. What you'll do? Just you call this email task, the mail would be sent. Okay. So just 2 lines got added, it reduced 18 lines. And one more thing is, one more best point is, you are not repeating the same lines again. You are not coding the same lines again. Fine. This email task is there. Some other team also do the same thing. They also need the email task. You can share this email task to them. Development time reduces. Okay. If you develop one time perfect, then it will be done for across all the process. You can use this email. Right? Sending email is a common thing. Just the point is, two address we need to change, and body you will get from some text file. Just you need to point this is the body you need to place. That's it. Everything is sent. It will send the mail. Okay. Two address and body will be changed. Yes. Correct. If there is any repetitive code, we'll move the code into some other task, and wherever we need that code, we'll call the task. That is very simple. Fine. So this is how.
For example, as you said, for email example.
Right.
So apart from email, if we get any kind of different thing which is repetitive in this email,
exactly.
can we put that task in the same task or can we create against
separate task? So email is a general thing. Email is a common thing across any process. Email is a common thing. Apart from that, based on your requirement, you get some requirement. In that, you will try to identify what is the common things. Okay, that is comes on the design phase. How you will design the coding, that is the coding standards, that is the design phase. How you will design the robots, that is comes in the design phase. So you will try to pick a common code. So something you are repeating, you are doing a repetition action, repeating things, right? That code you will take it off common, then you start coding it. Wherever that code is required, then you call the task. Okay, so that is one point. One point is you can reuse the code. Okay, you can reuse the code. The other point is maintenance. Okay, something need to change. If there is tomorrow, if they say was add one more, one more two address, or add something in the body, or add or add attachment to the email. Okay, if that is a scenario. So what you'll do? Just change here in subtask, that will reflect in everywhere, wherever you are calling, right? That is the advantage. if you're not creating a subtask, negative scenario, if you're not creating a subtask, so you need to change in 10, these 10 lines, again 10 lines, again 10 lines, wherever you're using those 10 lines code, to all the code you need to change again.
It means instead of doing in the
Right.
parameters, if you're doing
Instead of doing in every place, you can do in one place, you can do in one place, okay, you can do in one place, and that would be reflected in every place. Okay, that would be reflected in every place. And one more thing is you don't need even to touch this code. You don't need to touch this code. Just change this code, this will be done. Okay, that is one more advantage. One is over reusability, another one is maintenance. This comes into maintenance. If something comes up to cost, you need to add this most couple of lines to the code, then you can go ahead and add here. Okay, maintenance. One is apart from these two advantages, one is loosely coupled or independent. You are making the code independent. Okay, you are changing this code. You are not touching any line of this code. You are not touching any line of this code. Just you are changing this, you are changing the same thing in this code, you are not touching any line of this code. So this is not at all depending on this. So if you change this, you no need to change here. Automatically it will reflect. Right? So you can achieve loosely coupled. Okay? That is one thing. Apart from this, performance would be high. Okay? Because instead of every time executing 10 lines, it will execute one line. Okay. However, anyhow it is getting executed the other 10 lines again, but still the performance would be differs. Okay, that is one thing. Development time will be reduced. Okay, instead of coding 10, 10, 10, 30 lines, you code 10 lines here and you code over there. That's it. So it is reduced. So development time. So these are the major advantage when you go for subtasks. So even you can write those 20 lines repeatedly in the same this thing in the same task. But the thing is, the code is not that much standard. Okay, the code is not that much standard. You cannot reuse the code. You cannot when it comes to maintenance, that time you may face a lot of issues, and development time increases. So inverse of all the advantages. Okay, so that is what. So that's why. So I hope you understand why exactly we go for subtask. Why we are taking a subtask. Okay. Why we are taking a subtask. Right. That is the point. Yeah. Any queries? Yes. Yes. Function also the same thing. So block of code we name with a some name, some 10 lines of code. We'll name with a say suppose addition. Say suppose function addition. You can without naming it, you can add something. You can do addition logic. If you name it, then that name you can call. Add function. You can call that name. It will do the job. So that name you can reuse wherever you need. Okay, that name you can reuse wherever you need, because the set of block of codes you are giving one name. So if you call that name, the set of block of code would be executed. Okay. So don't think much. Just put it very simple. Just understand very simple. Wherever the repeated code, wherever we are using the same repeated code, we are moving to some other task so that we can reuse whenever we need it. Just put it very simple. So if someone asks, so what is the advantage of doing this? Then you can say we can reuse the code. Okay, we can reuse the code. Easy to maintain, loosely coupled. We can reduce the dependency. Loosely coupled in the sense we can reduce the dependency. Okay, one is development time reduces because you are not coding the same code again and again, right? So you are reusing it. Development time will reduce. Those are the benefits you can explain, right? Same thing, same as a task. It is also a task. Point is you are moving to just you are separating it. That's in other file or something. Yeah, you can call it. So yesterday we saw how we can call a subtask, right? So that is how you can call. So if any parameters needed, if you want to pass any parameter to execute that subtask, okay, parameter sense, if you want to pass any values, this is how we'll do. Okay, this is how we do. If we have something called as variable, in that variable we pass whatever values you need to pass. And if you see, it is a bidirection. It is a bidirection. So from main task, you are passing to subtask some value, ticker value. Sorry, where is this? Yeah, here it is. Sorry. So to execute object cloning, what it need ticker value. Okay, if you give ticker value to that object cloning task, it will put the ticker value in web application. It will get the company name and company this thing stock price, right? So what is the input you need to give to execute the ticker value? I mean, sorry, this object cloning, you need to give ticker value. Okay, the same ticker value will be available to the main task again because it is a bidirection. Fine. So
is there any difference variable and parameters?
of course, nothing but a variable parameter is the same. Actually, the parameter, the
Parameter
terminology
also
we use,
may-
yeah, the terminology we use parameter in Java.NET. Okay, when you call a function, there is something called as calling function. When you call a function, we need to pass the parameters. Parameters is nothing but again variables. We are passing the variables to it. So we are passing the variables to in a brackets word. So that is called as parameter. The brackets we have, whatever we are mentioning the brackets, that is called a parameter. So you can put it as variables.
It is both are same. Right?
Yeah, both are same. You can say it's variable.
We call
What are the variables you want to pass? You need to pass. That way you can say. Yeah. There's here there is no. So it's an habit. So yeah, you can say it's a variable. Okay. So even the even the option is also says as variable. So you can say as variable. Okay. Now see, let me clear this exercise one second. So in this exercise, what we did to achieve that subtask one, to understand what exactly the subtask is, what we did, we separated Excel operation one side, we separated object cloning. Object cloning is the web application. The web application one side. Right? Okay, let me show a diagram. I mean, let me do some diagram. So what we're doing, so these two are different application, right? One is web application, that is NASDAQ, right? One is NASDAQ application. One is Excel. Excel app. One is Excel application. So what we are doing, we are reading some value from Excel, that is ticker value. Okay, what we are doing, we are reading some ticker value from Excel. We are putting in a NASDAQ application. Okay, we are putting in a NASDAQ application, and this NASDAQ, we are doing some process. We are doing some process to get company code and stock price, company name and stock price, right? Let me put it in bidirection. Let me put it in bidirection. Right? Let me explain clearly. Okay. Fine. So what we are passing? We are passing here ticker. So from Excel we are passing ticker value to NASDAQ, right? In NASDAQ it will set a ticker value. What finally it will return? It will return two values. One is company name, stock price, stock price. So it returns company name and stock price. We are passing ticker value from Excel to NASDAQ application. In NASDAQ application, we do the process of object cloning and getting the company name and all, and we return the same thing to Excel. In Excel, we are setting the values. We are setting the values in Excel. Fine. So what we did is initially we are doing this entire exercise in one task. Initially, we are doing this entire exercise in one task. Now, we split the task into two different tasks. We split the task into two different tasks. One is Excel application. One is Excel application, which does NASDAQ.atmx. Okay. So NASDAQ.atmx do the Excel operation. NASDAQ.atmx this file do the Excel operation. And one more task we created is object only. You can put it as subtask. subtask dot ATMX. Ideally, you need to follow this naming convention. If it is a task subtask, you just put it as subtask. If it is an if this is an this you can put as task. Actually, this should be a task. Okay. Fine. So what NASDAQ to ATMX will do the Excel operation. What object cloning task will do? Subtask will do the company name, fetching the company name and all. Now, so what NASDAQ ATMX file will do? It will read the Excel file, it get the ticker value. Now what it should do? It should pass the ticker value to object cloning. Okay, it should pass the ticker value to this task, right? It should pass the ticker value. So as per the diagram, it should pass the ticker value to this task. Okay, as per the diagram, it should pass the ticker value to this task. What it will pass? It will pass the ticker value to object learning. Okay, are we doing the same thing? This NASDAQ application, reading the Excel file, getting the ticker value. Here it is getting the ticker value. Okay, here we are calling it, right? We are calling it. While calling, what we are doing? We are passing it. We are passing it. What we are doing? We are passing the ticker value. Right? Here we are passing the ticker value. Fine. This step is done. So to execute this, to perform some operation, the object learning need some ticker value. Okay, if you give the ticker value to object learning task, then it will do the process on web application. Fine. Now, so object learning, what it will do? It will set all the ticker value to it and do some process, and it will get the company name and stock price. So in return, what the object learning will give? Object learning will give the NASDAQ application was, as per your ticker value, I processed the something, I processed it, and I am giving the company name and stock price. So company name and stock price will return to the NASDAQ application. Okay. So in this case, we are doing the same thing, right? So what it will do? So I am calling subtask, passing ticker value. Then it will come to here. This line will execute. Okay. No. This lines. No, not this one. Sorry, not this one. Let me check. Check. Yeah, this line. So what it will do? NASDAQ application. Its job is to get the ticker value and pass it to the subtask. So here we are passing to subtask. This is how we will pass the values. We are passing to subtask. Fine. Now is the job of the object learning. What's the job of the object learning? It will take the ticker value. It will take the ticker value, set it to the set box, clicking, then get the company name. If you see here, you can see the visualize company name, get the stock price, and for all ticker values, it will do for all ticker values. Okay. Then give back to control to this task, and again what we are sending back? We are sending back stock price, company name. Stock price, company name we are sending back to NASDAQ application, right? So now NASDAQ application got the company and stock price. Now it is setting to the Excel sheet. These two lines will do. One is to company name, set a company name. One is to set a stock price, right? So this is how both are sharing the information. So whatever requirement you need to done your job, I mean to complete your job, I will give you that one. Okay, I will give you that one. You do your job and return the result to me. Okay, so I'll give you a ticker value, return the result as company name and stock price for me. So NASDAQ application is getting the company and stock price, and what now the job of NASDAQ application is to set the company name and stock price to Excel sheet. This is done. Right. So both persons communicating each other and doing one task. Right. So this is how we do. This is how we execute the subtask concept. Okay. This is how we execute the subtask concept. Right. So still any queries? So is clear? So first point is why we go for subtask. Okay. Again, so we need to identify where we can go, where we can place a subtask. That is comes under designing phase. When you are designing a robo, you need to identify what are the reusable components we can make, What are the reusable components? When I say reusable components, that is subtask. Okay, how many subtasks you can make, how many tasks you can make. That one you need to identify in a design phase. Right? That one you need to identify in a design phase. So if you do that, then the advantage of it is easy to maintain. You can write the thousand lines of code in one task, but that is not correct standard of coding. This is not a perfect standard of coding. Okay, so that is what. So still any questions? Yeah.
సో ఇది ఇంకో టాస్క్ చేసినప్పుడు స్లోగా రన్ అవ్వడం కానీ
Nothing. Nothing much impact.
ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎక్కువ టాస్క్ అయిపోయి మనకు అవసరం లేదు ఈ టాస్క్ అన్నప్పుడు డిలీట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
Yeah. If you don't want to run this, you can comment it. You can comment it. If you comment it, or if you disable, this task will won't run. Only the natural task will run. You can comment it. If you are not putting this one, if you are not taking a subtask, if this contains 20 lines, then 20 lines you need to comment. Right? You need to comment 20 lines. If you are not using, you are directly using the code. If you are directly using the code, then you need to comment 20 lines. If you are not using, you can just comment. This all comes under maintenance again. This all comes under maintenance. So easy to maintain. When I say easy to maintain, this all comes under maintenance. Right?
After this time, how to call email, send the email.
Yeah, same thing. So say suppose we created one email task, right? We created one email task. So we created one email task, right? The same thing, same thing. So we have something called as task. Same thing. How the same way how we are calling this one. The same way, run task. We have something called as run task. Drag and drop. Browse it. Okay, which task you want to run? Email, right? Just we created an email. However, it is not nothing code in that, but just for our explanation, just call it. Okay. So what parameters we need to pass? To address, from address, body. Okay, or subject line, whatever. So those are parameters you will pass. Okay, and save it. So after completing, it will send an email. Okay, it will send an email. Yes, it will send an email. So example. Really, there is no code sending an email right now, but just an example. Okay, it will send an email. So, or else you can write the same code here also. After completing it, you can write the 20 lines of it. Email and contains 20 lines. You can write the same code here. But if you want to reuse that code, if you want to reuse the same code in somewhere else, then you can't reuse, right? You can't reuse it because it is tie up with this NASDAQ application. Yeah, quick map. So you need to map the variables, right? You need to when I say you need to pass a variable, when I say you need to pass a variables, that means that you need to map a variable, right? Let me show this one. Okay. So let me delete everything. Right. So now we are calling subtask. Firstly, we need to pass ticker value, right? What you say, you will add it. You will select the ticker value of main task. You have ticker value in NASDAQ application. So I am selecting the ticker value of NASDAQ application. I am passing to object learning task. Okay. So this ticker value would be passed to object learning. So whatever the value in this ticker value would be available in now, would be present in subtask now. Fine. After processing, object cloning will return some parameters, return some variable back to NASDAQ, right? That is company name and stock price. So it is bi-direction. You can declare here only. Again, you don't need to declare there, and you don't need to you need to pass. Here only you can declare because it is a bi-direction. Then what you do? You will add it. Again, one more variable, which is company name. Okay, which is company name to company name. Okay, to company name. Fine. Company name to company name, right? Of course, this is in this we declare as a company. Whatever variable, whatever name would be there, you need to pass that variable. But, right? If you say company, if you say company name, whatever. We declare say adi pass. Okay, fine. So what it will do? Here from here it will pass a ticker value for object learning. Object learning do some process and it returning the company name to main NASDAQ application. Apart from company, we need one more thing. What is that? We need stock price. Right? We need stock price, and we are passing the stock price. So After getting the sticker value, it do some process and it passing back the company name to manage the main method and stock price to main method. So these two values are we are passing back to main method. Fine. Now, so if this is the case, there are say suppose 20 variables. This is the case where there, if they say suppose there are 20 variables where we need to pass between two tasks. 20 variables the same way we need to pass between two tasks. So in that case again you need to select add 20 times. Again you select the exact variable and you need to search for the variable again. Okay, you need to search for the list of variables. So in this list again 20, which one? Okay, this one. Okay, fine. Again in this which one? Again 20. You need to search. Okay, you need to search. So in that case you have something called as quick map. When this quick map will work, the name should be same. The names in main task, the variable names. When I say names, the variable names should be same in the subtask. Okay, here it is company name, here it is company. It will not map. When you say quick map, it will not map. Whichever the variable names are same, that will be mapped. Let's see. Let's see. If I say quick map, okay, fine. See, which are the variables are same with the same names in both sides. The variable names is same in both sides. Those variables got mapped. Whereas company name is not got mapped because the name is different. In this we have company name, in this we have company. So that's why it's not matching. So the best practice is maintain same variable names in both main task and subtask, both the tasks. So that when you say quick map, it will map automatically. You don't need to drag and drop each and every every variable. You don't need to select each and every variable. If you say quick map, it will be mapped. Right? So that is how it works. So that is about the quick map actually. Okay. Right. This is part of the best practice. You can do this way. Hello. So this you can do it this way, right? No, no, it is. We are not using it. Is by default is bidirection. Yeah, by default it is bidirection. So it means that the values in the two tasks will be available. So both tasks has the same values now. Okay. Right, right, right. So both tasks will be available now.
What is the repeat and speed option? When do you use repeat and speed?
Speed option to just to speed up your robot, just to run and speed up your robot. But ideally we won't use this because when you speed up your robot, right, sometimes your application may load very slow, your robot will run very fast, that time it will break. Okay.
Repeat means the same task.
Repeat means it will repeat the same task again and again. If you want to repeat the same task again and again, so again repeat, you select repeat, how many times you want to repeat. The same task will run, yeah, the same task will run 20 times, 30 times. If you say repeat until how many, how many minutes or how many seconds. So by based on the time also, so if you say repeat until sometime, some 1 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds, or it will repeat those many, or till that time it will run again, again. Sorry. Whenever the requirement says, boss, this task has to repeat 10 times, then you go for this repeat 10 times. Repeat 10 times. Whenever the requirement says this task has to repeat 1 hour, this task has to run 1 hour again and again, then that time you say this is one, this is done. When they say till some specific time, 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay, one hour at 1:30 till 1:30 it should run. Then this will be comes into picture. Ideally, we don't go for the speed up and all these options. We'll put it as default as this. So we go with the default repeat kind of stuff. So these options are really not important because in real time also we won't use this option. The important option is variables. So this is only the one we use, right? This is the only one we use. So this is all about the subtask. So I hope now you are a little bit clear. Okay. Don't go into technical terms. Don't go into technical how you implement. When you start practicing it, you will get to know. But what I want you to know is conceptual wise. Why you are going for subtasks? How will you do the subtasks? Okay. What is the advantage of using it? So just try to understand first conceptual wise. When you start practicing it, you'll get an idea technically how you will implement it. Right? Until unless you won't practice, you won't get the technical skill strength. Now, as of now, you just understand the conceptual wise why exactly we go for why exactly the subtask is, why we go for subtask, what is the advantage of using the subtask, what is the disadvantage if you want to use the subtask. So if you understand that one, then it is good. Then after that, when you start practicing it, you'll get to know how you use the subtask and all. Okay. Online, any queries? Any queries? Fine. So, yeah. So this is one thing. This is one thing. So apart from this, let's jump into new topic. So did you take the notes about the subtask? Why exactly we go? What is subtask? Why exactly we go for subtask? And what are the advantages of using subtask? And also disadvantages. When I say disadvantages, inverse of advantages. Okay. When you say reusable, disadvantages you can't reuse if you are not going with subtasks. That's why inverse of that you can say. So this is all about the subtask. Okay. Now, now the important one more important topic is error handling. The important topic is error handling. Across any language or across any technology, the very much the sorry, this is email automation. Right? The very important topic would be error handling. The very important topic would be error handling. Okay. You go with Java, you go with .NET, or you go with any technology. You go with DB also. Okay. Even I don't think VB script. Do we have any error handling concept? Yeah. It is very important, right? Yeah. So even in VB script also, we have something called error handling. Why error handling? So say suppose we have 20 lines of code. Okay. Say suppose okay, let me take into real time scenario. Let me take into real time scenario. Or let me take one general scenario. So in a daily activity you do some I don't know, there are ops guys and then are still searching for something. Right? So there are who already working on the guys who are already working. So what they'll do they'll initially they go to office. Okay, they log into the system by using system login with their credentials. Fine. First case. Okay, when trying to log into the system, something says your account got blocked or locked. So what you will do? You raise a ticket, you call to customer care or whoever it is support team. You will either you raise a ticket, either you call to the concerned department, or else you send a mail. We have three options. Whichever is whichever is required, you follow that. We have three channels. One is communication through mail. One is one channel. One is through communicating through phone. You will inform through phone. Boss, my account got locked. One channel is application, raising a ticket through application or some raising a ticket. That is one thing. So why you are doing this? Because it should not affect your work. Okay, it should not affect your work. So you need to do this upfront, and you need to go and you need to raise a ticket or call to someone and just fix it. Right? Fine. Once that is fixed, you are able to log in. Now you happily you can do the process. Right? So say suppose in negative case, you didn't do anything. Something went wrong. You just sit idle. You didn't raise a ticket, you didn't call to someone, or you didn't even drop email. So what happened that day? Your work is lost. No productivity. That day productivity is lost. Okay? Work is pending. Work is pending. So did you observe that this thing indirectly you are handling the errors. You don't know the concept of error handling till now, but indirectly you are doing that. But you don't know that that is called as error handling. But you are doing that. That is called as error handling. Okay, that is called as error handling. Error handling, you got some error, you are handling that. Right? You are handling that. How you are handling? By dropping a mail, by raising a ticket, by calling to support team. Okay, you are handling that by doing these activities. Okay, after fixing it, then you are proceeding for the works. What are the job you need to do for the day? You are going and you are proceeding that. So now clear, you got a clear picture why what is the error handling and why we are doing error handling. That should not impact to the day work. That should not impact our day-to-day work. Okay, you need to raise it, you need to handle it, fix it, go further. Right? That should not impact the day-to-day work. Right? So that is why you are doing that now. The same thing, the same concept in the terminal, I mean in the coding terminal also. Okay? Say suppose I have 20 lines. Okay, let me do this way. Say suppose I have these many lines. Okay, I will do one thing. Excel sheet would be the better one, I guess. Okay. Online guys, did you understand what I am trying to explain?
Trying to understand, Raj.
Okay, fine. So these are the 20 lines. These are the 20 lines. What robo will do? Robo will execute first line. It is very fine. It's going. Second line, cool. It executed. Third line, some issue got occurred. Some issue got occurred. It's not able to execute the third line due to some issue. Due to some issue, it's not execute the third line. We'll go with negative scenario. Okay, we'll go with negative scenario. Okay. Due to some issue, it got occurred third line. So it will drop the. I mean, it will terminate here. It will stop working here. So what about the rest lines? Will not execute it. So maybe the rest line might be very important. The robot has to at any cost
It's like error handling, right?
maybe the rest line might be very important. So what robo is doing here was I face an error here, I face an issue here. So it's doing nothing, it's sitting idle. The robo is sitting idle. So what actually robo has to do? Robo has to drop a mail, robo has to send a mail, or robo has to inform someone in any format, maybe update some Excel sheet or update some text file. Was this is the error I got here? Okay, update it, and you can go further. If these lines are not depending, if these lines are executing independent, there is no dependence on these lines, then you should execute the rest lines. Okay, was at line number 3 I'm not able to execute. Please look into this. So meanwhile I'm going to execute the 4th and 5th lines because anyhow those lines are not depending. So those lines are not the dependency, non-dependency. I will show you in coding wise. Okay. Just understand the concept. So row will say this line issue. There is an issue in this line. Okay, fine. Update it to someone, send a mail or log somewhere. Log somewhere. That is called error logs. We come across with something called as error logs. So there the concept comes in. So they log the file. They log the information to some file, saying that at line number 3 something went wrong. After that, it will execute the rest lines. That is when you keep an error handling. If you not keep an error handling, it won't. It terminates the things. And it will sit idle. Okay. So here the concept of error handling is to avoid abnormal termination. To avoid abnormal termination. Abnormal termination sense without any clue terminating the row. Without any clue, no information, nothing, just terminating and just sitting idle. abnormal termination without any clues terminating something. So that is called as error handling. Handling the to avoid abnormal termination. To avoid abnormal termination, we use error handlers or we use error handling. Okay, to avoid abnormal termination. So when you go for interview, right? So why you go for error handling and all, you can explain all this stuff. Okay, you can explain. You can really explain the things what what you do in a real time. I mean, the things what you do in the, what I said just now, the examples, the general examples. You can explain that as well. Okay, so to avoid this abnormal termination, to avoid this unwanted termination, to avoid this without any clue termination, you go for error handlings. So if you using with error handling, you can fix these issues. Okay, you can fix these issues. Okay, that is a concept of error handling. That is a very important usage of using error handling. That is a very important benefit of using this error handling. That is what. So now you understand why we go for error handling. First understand why we go for it. How we will do the coding, we'll see. How we will put in the coding, we'll see. First try to understand what is the why you go for error handling, what is exactly the error handling is, why we go for that. Okay. Those 2 points. Fine. Now you got to know what is error handling. Okay, if we are not handling that, what happens? Okay, if we handle that, how to handle it, how we can handle it. Okay, that is the point. Now fine. Now the question for 2 things: what is error handling? Why we go for error handling? If you're not doing that, what will happen? 3 questions. The questions for 3 answers. We got it. Now coding wise, why how you will implement? Okay, how you implement coding wise. Just I will just like I will drag and drop. I will show you the options. After that, we'll put one by one option. We'll look into that, right? First, I will show you the options. What are the options we have in that? What are the options we have? What are the what are the benefits we have using this? So there is something called as error handling. In that error handling, we have something called as begin error handling. When you drag and drop, it will show you some options, right? So what is saying? Begin error handling. Continue. Continue. Stop. Leave it. When I will tell you when we do the coding, right, that time you will get a very clear idea what is continue and stop, where to continue, where to stop. Okay, again we have something called as continue and stop. Just now I said, right, just now I said this is error handling, so it will close here and it will say something and it will continue with the next lines. So there comes continuous. If you say stop, it will notify someone, it will send a mail or log someone, and it will stop working until unless it got fixed. Okay, until unless it got fixed, it will stop working. So same thing. Okay, let me explain this as well with the same real-time example. First case will take it as stop. First case will take it as stop. In stop case, you try to log into your system, very beginning. It got something again, account got blocked. You say, you drop a mail, you call it, or you raise a ticket. So until unless it got fixed, you are not able to do any work. So what you are doing, you are stopping over there. Until unless it got fixed, you are not supposed to do, or you are not able to do any work, because to do any work you need system. The system itself is not there. So what you do, you will stop. So same thing the robot will do. So there is a dependency, right? There is a dependency. Until unless your system is available, you are not supposed to, or you are not able to do any work. That is one case. In that case, you will stop. So the same thing stop here also. The same thing stop here also. In coding, how you will do that? We'll see the coding example as well. The same thing here, stop also. Continue case. You'll open so everything is fine. You are able to log in. You open something. You find Excel sheet. Okay. You need to do one job. To get some Excel data, you will do some job, right? You find Excel sheet, you open it, one by one record you will process. Okay. One by one record you process. At some place, at record number 10, suppose at record number 10, you are not able to get some information. Something is missing on record number 10. What you'll do, you'll update the comment stating that something is missing. Then you process 11th record. You won't stop the process, right? You won't stop the process. If you stop the process, there are hundreds of records below that. So that would be on a hold. So in that case, you won't stop the process. You will update in an Excel sheet stating that this information is missing. I'm processing the other records. So you are not stopping there. You are continuing your work. So there comes continue. Okay, there comes continue. So now you should decide where to stop the robot, where to continue. Okay. Now you got an idea what is stopping and what is continuing. In first case we are stopping. Why? Because there is a dependency, high dependency. In second case, there is nothing, dependency is not there. Each record is an individual process, so you are working on it. Okay, you are not stopping, you are continuing. Because each record is works individually. Nothing, dependency is not there. So where if there is any dependency is there, in that case you are stopping. If there is no dependency, you are continuing the work. Okay, keep this parts. Fine. So this is about the continue and stop. This is what we are talking about, the continue and stop. Right? Fine. So why we are doing what is this? We want, if there is an error occurs, this should do something, right? Fine.
The continuous options are, I guess, the third layer of this, fourth
one. Yeah, continue. Okay. Now, fine. Error got occurred. We are handling it now. Assuming that error got occurred, we are handling it now. So it already given some options. One is snapshot. In real time, as I said, we have 3 channels. One is you can raise a ticket through app. One is you can call. One is you can drop a mail. 3 channels. 3 ways to raise the issue. Okay. You have 3 ways to raise the issue. Right? Similarly, we have multiple options. One is take snapshot. Okay. At that point, if any error occurs, it will take a snapshot of it. Okay. It will take a snapshot of it.
We will take snapshot and it will send as a mail.
Yeah, we have option also. We have option to send a mail as well. So again, the options got divided. If you want to take a snapshot, it will take a snapshot. If you want to send a mail, it also sends it. That option also we have. We'll go through. I mean, we have that option.
Send that snapshot to the developer or else to us.
See, snapshot తీసుకోవడం market. Oh my.
అది స్నాప్షాట్ తీసుకొని ఎవరికి పంపండి, ఎవరైతే రిజిస్టర్ అయిందో వాళ్ళ మీద పంపండి.
స్టాక్ ప్రైస్ అన్ని తీసుకుంటాం. సపోజ్ స్టాక్ ప్రైస్ మనకి లేదు, బ్లాంక్ ఉంది, అదర్ దెన్ 0 బ్లాంక్ ఉంది, లేదంటే కనుక నెంబర్స్ బదులు ఆల్ఫోన్ ఇమేజ్ వస్తుంది. సో ఇన్ దట్ కేస్ ఐ వాంట్ టు హ్యాండిల్ ఎర్రర్, అది ఎర్రర్ కింద హ్యాండిల్ చేయాలి.
ఇప్పుడు స్టాక్ ప్రైస్ అంటే అది న్యూమరికే ఉంటుంది, ఆల్ఫా న్యూమరిక్ రావడానికి ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. ఓకే ఫైన్. వన్ మోర్ థింగ్ క్యాన్ బి ఛాన్సెస్ బ్లాంక్ ఉండొచ్చు. ఆ టైంకి స్టాక్ ప్రైస్ అప్డేట్ అవ్వకపోవచ్చు. ఇన్ దట్ కేస్ యూ నీడ్ టు చెక్ ఫర్ అ బ్లాంక్. ఓకే, సింపుల్. వేరియబుల్ తెచ్చుకుంటారు, ఇఫ్ కండిషన్లో ఈజ్ దట్ వేరియబుల్ ఎంటీ ఆర్ నాట్. దట్స్ ఇట్, సింపుల్. ఎంటీ ఆర్ నాట్. ఇఫ్ ఎంటీ, సే సపోజ్ ఎంటీ అయినా నాట్ అయినా ఏదైనా సరే, బ్లాంక్ అయితే బ్లాంక్ సెట్ చేస్తుంది, టెక్స్ట్ that will not impact. But still, if you want to do, yeah, if variable is blank, say suppose just message and whatever you want to do, you can do it. Ultimately, see, blank unte blank set chestam. Okay, blank unte blank set chestam. మీరు ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్ ఇది ఇంకోలాగా అడగరు, ఇక్కడ కాకుండా వేరే దగ్గర పెట్టాలి. ఎలా అంటే మనం టికెట్ వాల్యూస్ తెచ్చుకుంటాం. సే సపోజ్ టికెట్ వాల్యూ బ్లాంక్ ఉంది, టికెట్ వాల్యూ లేదు, అప్పుడు హ్యాండిల్ చేయాలి. అది ఇంపార్టెంట్. టికెట్ వాల్యూ లేదనుకో బ్లాంక్ పంపిస్తుంది ఆబ్జెక్ట్లోనికి వేసే బ్లాంక్ పెడతాడు. బ్లాంక్ పెట్టి బ్లాంక్ వెళ్తే సమ్ అదర్ పేజ్కి రౌట్ అవుతుంది, మిస్ అయిపోతుంది, ఫ్లో మొత్తం మిస్ అయిపోయింది, అక్కడ ఫెయిల్ అవుతుంది రోబో, రైట్? రోబో ఫెయిల్ అవుతుంది. అప్పుడు టికెట్ వాల్యూ బ్లాంక్ ఉందా లేదా, ఒకవేళ బ్లాంక్ లేకపోతేనే ప్రాసెస్ చేయాలి. బ్లాంక్ ఉంటే దాని కరస్పాండింగ్ రో ఉంది కదా, ఎక్సెల్ షీట్ అక్కడే సెట్ చేయాలి. బాస్ టికెట్ వాల్యూ నో టికెట్ వాల్యూ ఫౌండ్ అని చెప్పేసి స్టేటస్లో పెట్టేస్తాం. ఆ కాలంకి వెళ్ళి ఎక్సెల్ షీట్ ఆ పర్టికులర్ రికార్డ్లో ఆ కాలంలో బాస్ ఈ కాలంలో స్టేటస్ అప్డేట్ చేస్తాం. ఏం చేస్తామంటే టికెట్ వాల్యూ డస్ నాట్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్, నో టికెట్ వాల్యూ ఫౌండ్, అదొక కేసు. ఇంకో సినారియో ఏంటంటే టికెట్ వాల్యూ XYZ ర్యాండమ్ వాల్యూ వెళ్ళచ్చు, XYZకి అసలు లేదు, ఇది వెళ్తుంది రోబో XYZ టైప్ చేస్తుంది, రియల్ టైం క్లిక్ చేస్తుంది, ఓపెన్ చేస్తుంది, ఏదో ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది, యాక్చువల్ పేజ్ ఓపెన్ కాదు, సమ్ అదర్ పేజ్. ఏం పేజ్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది అంటే నో టికెట్ వాల్యూ ఆర్ ఇన్వాలిడ్ టికెట్ వాల్యూ సమ్ పేజ్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది. అలాంటప్పుడు యూనిట్ చెక్. ఓకే, నువ్వు క్యాప్చర్ చేసినది నీ కంపెనీ నేమ్ ఉందా లేదా అలా, ఒకవేళ కంపెనీ నేమ్ లేకపోతే సంథింగ్ వెంట రాను, అది ఏందన్నది యూనిట్ అప్డేట్ ద స్టేటస్.
ఆ ఈవెంట్ ఎట్లా హ్యాండిల్ చేస్తామంటే, అంటే అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి అడ్రస్ లో టైప్ చేస్తుంది సంథింగ్, అక్కడ ఆ కంపెనీ టైప్ చేసినప్పుడు లేదు అంటే కనుక ఆ ఈవెంట్
అది మీరు ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలి. కంపెనీ నేమ్ ఫేస్ చేసినప్పుడు కామన్ థింగ్స్ ఏమి ఉన్నాయి, ఆ కంపెనీ నేమ్లో ఏమి కామన్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎప్పుడు అవే వస్తాయి, అన్ని కంపెనీస్కి అవే రావాలి. కామన్ అంటే కంపెనీ నేమ్ చేంజ్ అవుతుంది, దాంతో ఏదో యాడ్ అయి ఉంటుంది కదా, ఆ కామన్ థింగ్ ఏదో చూడాలి. ఇక్కడ ఏంటి, రియల్ టైమ్ స్టాక్ అనేది యాడ్ అయి ఉంటుంది, మీరు నోటీస్ చేస్తే రియల్ టైమ్ స్టాక్ అనేది యాడ్ ఉంటుంది. కంపెనీ నేమ్ రియల్ టైమ్ స్టాక్, కంపెనీ నేమ్ IPM రియల్ టైమ్ స్టాక్, CTS రియల్ టైమ్ స్టాక్ యాడ్ అయి ఉంటుంది. సో మీరు రిటర్న్ అది కంపెనీ నేమ్ పారామీటర్ ఇలా చెక్ వేరియబుల్ చెక్ చేయాలి. ఏంటంటే అందులో రియల్ టైమ్ స్టాక్ ఇంక్లూడ్ అయి ఉందా లేదా, ఈజ్ దట్ వేరియబుల్ ఇంక్లూడ్స్ రియల్ టైమ్ స్టాక్ ఆర్ నాట్. If that is includes real time stock, you are good to go. If there is no real time in stock, something went wrong, update the status.
We will do with that BSc India. In that we will do exception. So we'll get to know both.
Fine. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So now what? Baswa? Forward. వైఫై కనెక్ట్ చేద్దామా? ఏది వీడియో
abnormal translation అని చెప్పేసి if we have a 20 lines of code, if it is running in a third line, if we get any disturbance in the third line,
then still you should run the next line.